as Main Events and Classic Entertainment and Sports present 10 rounds of action for the NABF Middleweight Championship. Our main event judges, Frank Lombardi, John McKay, and Carlos Ortiz Jr. Our main event referee, Mike Ortega. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes tonight from Culiacan, Mexico. He weighed in at 159 3/4 pounds, orange trunks with white trim. Professional record an excellent 37 victories, 9 defeats, 31 wins by knockout. Please welcome Saul Roman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to us tonight from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 159 3/4 pounds, turquoise, pink, and yellow trunks. Professional record of 24 victories, 3 defeats, 17 wins by knockout. Please welcome Curtis Showtime Stevens. Our referee, Mike Ortega, has our fighters' final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, I want a clean fight. Caballero, quiero una pelea limpia. Good luck to both of you. Buena suerte a los dos. Touch them up.
10 rounds for the NABF middleweight title.
Roman on a roll himself after that terrific battle with Jose Pinzon on March the 23rd. He's won 3 straight. Stevens has won 3 straight himself. And Stevens comes in looking for more. He wants that NABF belt back and hoping to do even more now on what has really been a hot 7-8 months here for Curtis Stevens. Back in form.
It's going to be interesting, Kenny, to see how Saul Roman handles the power of Curtis Stevens early in this fight. Saul Roman moving up from 154 to 160. Said yesterday in the fighter meetings that he's more comfortable at 154. And, you know, we know Curtis Stevens is one thing. At 160, he's a big puncher.
And there, this body work of Stevens. Stevens going to town. Roman back against the ropes. Roman in trouble early. Stevens trying to put it away. Roman is staggering. Somehow he's standing up. A barrage from Stevens, but Roman is still down, and now he's down. The left got him, and he goes down.
Huge left hook from Curtis Stevens. The left hook was the key. It set it off in the beginning. Stevens got all over him and got Roman in a lot of trouble. He's still in a lot of trouble here. Stevens is a very good finisher. This is the danger when any middleweight is facing Curtis Stevens. He's very explosive.
And Roman, remember, he had a bloodbath the last time out, and he hung on to somehow win that fight in the later rounds. But he is facing a devastating puncher here in Curtis Stevens.
And that's the problem with Curtis Stevens when you face him. Everybody that he touches, you know, they feel his power. And that left hook is a very serious punch. The overhand right is good too, and he's a very good finisher. So he makes it tough on anybody in those beginning rounds.
And he bulls Roman back into the corner. Stevens again, nice left.
Beautiful punches by Stevens with the ran against the ropes there. Good punches.
Stevens has knocked him down once in this round. And going to town again.
Very accurate, very hard punches from Stevens to Roman. Roman's in trouble here. He's got to hold on to make sure he gets out of this round.
That shows you just how tough Roman is, though. Not many guys would be able to handle this.
Looks like he's starting to clear his head a little bit.
Curtis Stevens knocks him down. He's out. It's over. Stevens has knocked out Ramon.
And there's the power that we've been talking about, that vaunted power. That's why everybody is talking about Curtis Stevens. He's got that one-punch power in the middleweight division. Unbelievable knockout by Curtis Stevens.
Stevens fighting a gritty, tough veteran who had been in a slugfest through 9 rounds his last time out in Saul Ramon. But he hadn't faced anyone that hits like Curtis Stevens, and Stevens decks him. Knocks him out cold here in round 1.
Not only can he punch, though, Kenny, he's got great timing. He's got those counter abilities, and he's got that vaunted left hook. He knows when to shoot it. He knows how to shoot it. And when he gets an opponent hurt, he gets him out of there. That's what we as boxing fans love.
For the 10th time in his career, Curtis Stevens has a first-round knockout. We've seen 2 of them this year, both of them here at Mohegan Sun.
Both times with left hooks, Kenny, and both times spectacular. It's very rare that we see that type of one-punch power in the middleweight division. And Curtis Stevens electrifies crowds and very shocks his opponents with that type of power.
It is good to see him back, isn't it? After being off for over 2 years and seeing what he has done over the last year. Wins for the 25th time, and here is the first knockdown.
And here we see it right here. Perfect, beautiful move. You see Curtis Stevens catching the right hand with his left glove, coming back with a quick, powerful left-hand counter, right on the money. Beautiful shot by Curtis Stevens. Beautiful timing, and you see Curtis is waiting again for Ramon to load up on the right hand. Curtis said, listen, I'm going to trade. You shoot the right hand, you take my left hook. Let's see who wins.
Not many in this division will want to have that draw, will they?
Beautiful timing. You see, he's just a natural with that punch. He's deflecting the right hand at the same time that he's turning in to rotate and pivot and shoot that left hook. He gets so much leverage and so much power on it. It's just, it's beautiful to watch it in full speed.
He is quick on the draw, and Stevens wins 18 of his 25 victories coming by knockout. And most of the knockouts have been just like this, haven't they, BJ? Yeah. They have been devastating knockouts.
To separate his opponents from their senses. That's what he did again tonight. That's what he did with Elvin Ayala. He's done that with Romero Johnson the fight before that. And he just continues to show that one-punch power, that element that electrifies people in the stands.
And he is, once again, the NABF middleweight champ, a vacated title that he once held earlier in the year as he goes over to check on Ramon.
And it's interesting to see what will happen with Curtis Stevens in the ratings. When Vanes Martin Rosen beat Saul Ramon, he moved to the #1 spot in the WBC at the 154-pound division. Saul Ramon went up to 160, so obviously he's not going to have the same credentials, but still a dominating victory over a very solid opponent like Saul Ramon. The WBC has to take notice and move Curtis Stevens accordingly.
And let's check in with Joe now to get the official time of that first-round KO.
Boxing fans, the time, 2 minutes and 26 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by knockout and the new NABF middleweight champion, the most explosive middleweight in the world, Curtis Showtime Stevens.
He steamrolls along. Curtis Stevens with another knockout, another first-round knockout over a guy that's tough to knock out, but he has been knocked out a lot in his career, but he hangs in there and has taken a lot of punches. Saul Ramon. Well, we'll take a look at the stats. Total punches, only a couple really matter here. You see Stevens just dominating from the get-go, hitting on 61% of what he was throwing, and his power punches almost equal to the punches he was landing. Look at that, 64% of his power punches, landing 34-6. And a barrage early on. To Ramon's credit, it was amazing he was standing till he was caught with that left the first time, and then the left the second time just finished this fight. And standing by with Showtime is our own Chris Mannix.
Well, Curtis, you're a middleweight on the rise, and a lot of people wanted to see if you would make a statement in this fight tonight. I think it's safe to say you made that statement, don't you?
Yeah, correct. First of all, I'd like to say all glory be to God. I'd like to thank my team, Team Stevens, Main Event, ABC, from letting me come back once again. The great city of Connecticut for allowing us to put a great show on tonight. But yeah, I came in there, I knew Saul was a strong Mexican, loves to come forward, loves to fight. I started off a little slower than my uncle wanted me to, but my other coach, Gary, always say defense first, so I tried to set up the jab, but eventually the hook snuck in and caught him, I believe.
Let's take a look at some of the knockdowns, the 2 knockdowns in this fight, and tell us what you see in the first one here.
He threw the right hand, and oh, God. Damn, nuclear warfare.
He stood up to a lot of your pressure after that, though. This next knockdown.
Yeah, it's the first one still, or it's the last one?
Last one.
Oh, yeah, you see, crunch. Look at him. Call first 48 Connecticut. Nah, but Saul, he was a strong competitor, but that was just, that was perfect timing. And my finisher. Ooh, Golovkin gonna get caught just like that, though. Word to mother.
You dropped the name Golovkin, and you seem to be on a collision course with Gennady Golovkin, possibly as early as November. Is that the fight you want next?
Is that the fight he want next? You know, it ain't me. It ain't me, actually. I'm the train. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. My promoter's gonna do what they gotta do. I'm just ready to step in there and take over the middleweight division. He's
called the most feared middleweight in boxing. You were at his last fight against Matthew Macklin. What did you see in that fight?
I seen Matthew Macklin, a scared fighter, taking nothing away from Matthew Macklin. But to me, he was a little scared. And Gennady caught him with an excellent body shot, taking nothing away from his knockout. Excellent knockout. But he fought a scared fighter.
Do you think he can't take your power?
Like I said, the first time you interviewed me when I was here, and you asked me could any one of these middleweights take it. Obviously, I did what I did again. Same place, same what?
Same everything.
Yeah, same everything. So, but all glory be to God once again. Brooklyn, Brownsville, Miami, all my people's here. Team Showtime, Team Stevens, main event. Shout out to Vinny Styles, too, my sponsors. And Brooklyn, we're here. We're going to take over.
Thanks, Curtis. Kenny?